kind of going off of that question, obviously there are a lot of Greek members that run for Student Senate positions, are involved heavily in Student Senate. How would you propose reaching out to non-Greek students to get them involved?
I think Student Senate has done a lot of that this year. We amended our bylaws to create 2 positions for representatives to represent athletes, and we have the commuter affairs positions and things like that. The international affairs position, a lot was done with that this year to help communicate things to international students. So I would say that if Student Senate early on in the year can appoint good people to those positions that reach out to the people who aren't just Greek, that would be a great way to help get them more involved in Student Senate and in Marietta College.
I feel a way to make Senate less Greek dependent and diversify its membership would be possibly every single time that we've opened the application process, the application has merely been this simple email. If we made something more jazzy, again, possibly putting up flyers in residence halls, talking to residents live, asking to encourage their residents to get involved on campus, something that they should be doing already. I feel like this is a really great way that we can reach out to all of campus, even if it means speaking to different department chairs of different academic disciplines and asking to encourage people in their classes. If this is something that you feel is very valuable, if you want to make an impact on campus, represent your views and take the views of others that are in your academic discipline and bring them to Senate, I feel that faculty are someone that the students really look up to and that they would have a strong influence on somebody possibly running.
We wanted to get a sand volleyball court on campus. How would this happen?
Hear, hear.
Sorry.
A sand volleyball court. I feel first I would have to talk to physical plant. A question of feasibility. I do not know if that is necessarily possible. I know the idea has been thrown around before. I wouldn't be opposed to inquiring about it, but I feel it would involve first talking to Fred Smith, and even bringing the idea as far as to the president, actually, as far as what kind of landscaping potentials do we have to install a sand volleyball court? Where would we put it? Is there money in the budget? How can Student Senate help with that? And go from there.
This one, Josh kind of hit it right on the head. You have to go to fiscal plant and probably David Travis as well to find out about that, who's going to be paying for maintenance and such for it, who is really going to use it, make sure there would be enough student interest. There probably would be. And then location. I know there's been talk about re-landscaping DU Field either next year or the year after, so maybe it's something that could be incorporated in with that project. They just did a lot of work on Parsons Field, so maybe I know they're still planning on trying to do some work there, especially when they build the new residence hall in the near future, so maybe it's something that could be incorporated in with that as well.
Yes, earlier, Josh, you had mentioned one of your stances being to focus on the very abnormally large incoming freshman class. That's a pretty lofty goal. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I have another question to both of you, though, on the lofty goals. The last 10 years, though, on paper, not in reality, the incoming freshman classes have been boasting great GPAs. However, as we all know, that's fluff. What are you guys going to do about, the sustainability of our diploma's worth by maybe asking the admissions and the administration to probably boost their standards a little bit and stop giving up some of their credibility for athleticism?
Earlier when Josh was talking about reviewing the tenure process and possibly making changes to that, that might be one of the best ways to go about making sure that we have a credible degree and it increases the value of our degree. Because you're right, I think that is a problem on this campus. Teachers just passing students to make sure that they get out of here in 4 years with a diploma, even if they're not necessarily qualified. So maybe teachers who have tenure have them subject to a specific review about whether or not some of their students are qualified. Again, go to the residence life to help also identify students early on in the midterms and after the first semester and see if they're students who are just going to be gone after the first year, and if it's looking like it could end up that way, see if there's a way to pull them back in and focus on their academics in such a way that they don't end up just leaving after the first semester and we stop having such poor retention.
I agree with Dave in regards to strengthening the review system for tenured faculty. I think that's a very good first step. I feel a way of addressing the root problem of admitting students with significantly lower GPAs would come from asking tough questions to the administration about who is getting admitted and the rationale for why. If it means talking to Scott McVicker in the admissions office, then I think that is something that the student body president should be willing and able to do. I feel the student body's president's first and foremost duty is to the student body. First and foremost. Working with the administration is absolutely crucial. However, I do not feel that the Student Senate President should not be afraid to ask tough questions, such as what is happening. Perhaps these low GPAs being admitted is because nobody is directly asking, why is this happening? How is this benefiting Marietta College? How is this pushing us towards our mission statement? And how are we getting closer to achieving our goals? So I would start by asking the tough questions to the people who can change it.
Lately in the student life office, there's been a problem with the budgeting, and asking questions about how that happened, we discovered that part of it is because of a practice that may not be the best management system, as in one person is in charge of the budget and they take out the funds and do what they want with it, which this point hasn't really been a problem, but like, what can we do? What can the student body president do to kind of question those types of management techniques so that the money that we pay for our tuition and stuff isn't being wasted or isn't being overextended?
I guess one idea I can think of to raise accountability, I'm assuming is the issue you're referring to. The way I would address this issue of accountability, I know many students on campus who are always looking for a work-study job. And I can think of no better way of providing somebody who'd be interested in going into finance or business with a work-study position to work alongside David Travis to monitor the budget, make sure spending is going appropriately as it should, and make sure that our funds and our student activity fees are being spent wisely and that we do not wind up in the deficit that we currently are in.
I believe the incident with David Travis, I think it was an isolated incident. He pleaded his case pretty well, and I mean there were a lot of factors that could have led to that. He had a different boss first semester than second semester, and he, says it was an isolated incident. He has a good rationale, and I believe it was such a thing. And the oversight of his new boss is certainly there, and I'm sure he's going to be keeping an extra close eye next year. So I don't know if Student Senate necessarily needs to act to create a new position or something to increase the accountability in that way.
My question's twofold, so after you guys answer, I'll have the second part. But as you guys know, the student senate officers do get paid for their positions. My first question is, would you guys do this even if you weren't getting paid?
The answer is yes. I want to help out the student body, and I think I'm the best person for the job. Finances aren't too much of an issue for me. I've been lucky enough to have a pretty good summer job the last couple of summers, so finances are not a worry for me.
The answer, without a doubt, is yes. I have given 2 years to Senate already without being paid. I never have a problem giving back to the Marietta College campus. I do love this college, and I don't mind putting in an exorbitant amount of hours to see that this college is made better because of it. And I already have a work-study job on campus, so I would not be stressing in terms of my own personal finances.